Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Virtus.Pro versus Nasus Vincia in the Epic League. Now, Na'Vi, they're a little bit lacking on points so far in this league. They're 3-2 at the moment. So if they win this one, then they should actually go... I think they'll actually position themselves in 4th place into the league. Only bump themselves up one point. But then they'll actually move Nigma down to the lower sections and have to go for the play-ins rather than the playoffs. So that's not bad. But VP, they're still pretty comfortable so far in 2nd place themselves in the points. So they're a little bit more comfortable, but even still, they don't want to end up dropping any more games. They want to make sure they stay in this position and guarantee themselves going into the playoffs. But either way, between these two teams, both of them obviously CIS orientated, so we'll have to see which one actually has the ability to prove that they are the better CIS team. Na'Vi, they've been having a little bit of an off section for a while. We'll see if they're able to, to prove that they're still in this. When Na'Vi, they lead up with the Lina. This is a hero which they like to grab, normally put it into the hands of Rogers, that position 4. Then an immediate response by picking up the Viper coming out from the side of VP. So, most likely going to be for GPK to take into the mid lane. May possibly put it on for DM to go into the off lane, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see. So the immediate Mars grab up now from Na'Vi, a hero which they do like to grab up. That and Phoenix are like 2 of their most picked heroes so far. So they will grab up. That's pretty much just going to be for general in the off lane. So you got that double stun set up with a nuke in the off lane now for the side of Na'Vi. So whoever VP do pick up for their safe lane, they need a pretty decent position 5 for them to keep them safe. Otherwise, this combo is just going to net a kill every single time. Oh, then it's actually to go for the lifestealer. So there's that perfect carry that goes well up against the Mars. Being able to just use the rage, walk through the arena, dodge the spear, and all the damage coming out from the Lina. So it looks like Epilepsy Kid will probably have a relatively decent lane. Shouldn't get caught out too many times. Just depends on what the actual support role is that VP pick up, because that's probably just going to be the one that ends up dying in that lane. We'll have to see what it is. You never know, they might go for some puppy magic and go for a puck position 5. Pretty elusive hero, so even that should be able to dodge out quite a lot of the threats coming from these 2 heroes. Right, so looking like VP have already grabbed, well, they've already grabbed their position 1, but if this Viper is actually going to be for their mid role, then they've already shown their 2 main cores on their team. So this does leave a lot of wiggle room for Na'Vi to potentially go for some sort of better counter picks to go up against these 2 heroes. They ban out the Morphling, they ban out the Jug. Meanwhile, Na'Vi take away the Tiny and the Void Spirit. So just focusing all their sort of bans towards DM now. Or maybe even still GPK, because this Viper can go into DM's hands with the offlane. It is a hero that he does pick up and play, so it's not exactly guaranteed to be for GPK at all. So we could potentially see like the Drow pickup coming out for the side of Na'Vi. You know, if this is going to be a Viper in the off lane, because then the Drow can always keep a distance and be able to farm even with the Nether Toxin spams. Plus, you've already got the Mars like big arena ultimate. They can make a lot of space in the team fights as well. Lets the Drow get into a pretty decent position, so she's obviously get run down by everyone on the side of VP. Despite the fact they have already got that lifestealer who can just charge through the arena, but even still, you know, as long as it is just the lifestealer that can like close the gap between him and the Drow, then they might still go with it. Especially if they can get the Venge pickup as well. But VP take away the anti-mage. The AM's always pretty good up against the Lifestealer either way, because you can always just blink away from the Lifestealer. If he ever starts getting a little bit too aggressive onto you, you can easily escape him, because there's no sort of stun knockdown that Lifestealer has, until he builds an Abyssal, of course. So there is the Venge pickup, so it's most likely going to be the Drow as the position 1 now coming up from the side of Na'Vi. So VP, they're going to be expecting this. We'll see what other hero they pick up to try and counter this Drow. They want someone who can easily get on top of her, so perhaps they could go for the Storm Spirit. Ooh, actually, they're going to go for the Clockwork. So again, it's a hero that can easily go on top of her with the hook shot, as long as if there's a clear line of sight. But if it is just the Clockwork who's able to get on top of her and everyone else is... What? Why'd you close the game? What? Hang on, I'm gonna have to... Did I miss anything? Come on, game, load up. Okay, well, I didn't actually miss anything, because it's just the obvious Drow pickup that came out from the side of Na'Vi. So yeah, as I was saying, if it's just the Clockwork who's able to actually get on top of the Drow, but everyone else is separated by the arena, there will still be the Lifestealer able to try and get in there and assist the Clockwork when he's engaged onto the Drow, but even still, there's just going to be the Venge always sat a little bit further away, so always able to swap her back into a better position. So it's definitely not going to be the easiest Drow to get on top of at all. Depends how badly as well she gets crushed in the safe lane, but I don't think she will. She's going to be getting up against the Viper and a Clockwork, as long as if she can always make sure she's got the correct positioning and not just going to allow the Clockwork to get on top of her and trap her with those cogs, and then just get obviously never toxin down. She should be relatively okay in this lane. Can't say the same for Venge though. Venge is probably going to die a couple of times, if she does get close enough to get trapped in by these cogs. So it's just looking like both mid laners are left to pick up. So pretty much VP and Na'Vi are going to be battling out very similar heroes right now. So Na'Vi, they've got the damage of the Drow, the damage assistance coming out from the Alina as well. So maybe potentially they just want to go for more lockdown kind of play. Maybe a hero that can also benefit from the Venge aura. And then VP, they need someone who can still sort of try and get on top of this Drow a little bit easier. They actually ban out the Storm Spirit themselves. Maybe a Kunkka for the side of Na'Vi could be quite nice. It gives them another frontline tank, a lot of disable as well to try and make room for the Drow. Sure, you're going to struggle to get a catch onto the Lifesteal obviously, because he's able just to rage off the X, but even still, I think it's pretty good against the rest of the team. They do have the first pick though, so if they do go for the Kunkka, VP could still potentially move this Viper around and put that into the mid lane. Actually, just go for the Death Prophet instead. So it can benefit from the Venge Aura and the Drow Aura as well. Plus able to apply quite a lot of early pressure onto the towers and just try and make a little bit more space for the Drow until she's actually able to get a couple of items online. They're actually going to go for the Zeus. So they're going to be able to have a bit of long range damage for this Drow now. So if the Clockwork's able to get a nice hook shot off, connect onto the Drow, and there's going to be like a Nimbus and a Thunder God's Wrath follow up from GPK, they could potentially burst down V-Tune before he's able to get the save come out from Always Wanna Fly, potentially. But obviously V-Tune's most likely just going to be building up that BKB, so it will eventually lose its effectiveness. But obviously, if Vichune's forced to go for an early BKB, then obviously it's going to lose its effectiveness the later on the game goes, as that duration gets reduced more and more. So looking at these lineups, I think I prefer Navi's. It's very clean cut. It has a definite plan of what it wants to do. Meanwhile, on the side of VP, it's kind of like it's kind of just, I don't know. It's just really sort of all over the place. They've only actually got, they don't have any like guaranteed stun knockdowns. All they've got is the battery assault as well. They've got a few slows. They've got the open wounds. They've got the enchant from the enchantress. But yeah, they're actually lacking quite a lot of stuns. Meanwhile, on Na'Vi, they've got three spread amongst three heroes, plus the silence utility from the Death Prophet as well. I don't know. I think I just think Na'Vi's has got a little bit more well-roundedness to it and a clear plan. Na'Vi's is just, it seems very mishmash to me. So yeah, I'm gonna say Na'Vi's gonna take this game. It's not like a guaranteed win, but it's definitely feels like it's got a bit more cohesion between all the teammates. And both of these just standing up on their respective high grounds, waiting for someone just to walk into this death trap. Is this just the CIS strat? Is this what CIS games are like? Just everyone at the very start of the game sits on their high grounds and waits for someone to run at them?
You'll have to do better than that.
I don't know. Neither team's going to fall for this little trap. And everyone's just now just going to disperse back to their respective lanes on the side of Na'Vi. They're still waiting on VP, expecting someone to try and go for the little bounty ring grab, but it's not going to happen. So it looks like it's just going to be an even 2-for-2 across the map and bounties. No one's going to go crazy. I think it's between these two mid lane as well. The Death Prophet and the Zeus. Neither are like super great rotators. They'll pretty much only ever rotate unless there's a gank happening by their own tier 1 in the respective side lanes, or they find a haste rune. Those are pretty much the only times that these two heroes are going to actually leave this lane. They're mainly just going to be focused on trying to farm up and just keep shoving in waves to the other side. Obviously, Iceberg's going to try and use that first Exorcism to do as much damage to the tier 1 tower as he possibly can. So DM was going deep then to try and interrupt those last hits to be coming out from Vichune. Ends up just taking quite a little whacks in the back there from Always Wanna Fly. Still just hanging about. He wants to make sure he's in XP range at least. So this is an entire wave he's going to miss out on, as well as the fact that Saved had already taken a different wave. So he's on level 2. Meanwhile, DM, he's halfway to it. Still only level 1. A little bit rough, seems how he is actually meant to be the core offlaner. Zora is going to be a slightly advantage now for Na'Vi in this safe lane. The farm between the two position ones across the map, it's pretty even, both on 7 last hits. Obviously Vichune has got a few more denies as well. Obviously We're gone past the patch where getting denies gets you gold. Do you remember that crazy patch? Like, carries were actually pinging supports for getting denies. That was a sad time. But Save, you actually managed to get the first blood onto Always Want to Fly behind the tier 1 tower. So, you know, I was saying that in the drafting phase is that this Venge is probably going to die a few times. Just getting cogged in, and then the Never Toxin on top with the battery salt as well. So it's way too much damage, especially for a squishy little Venge to try and survive. So we're most likely going to see that happen a few more times. Especially seems how Safe has got these very early brown boots, so always going to be able to catch up to Always Want to Fly, no matter what position he's in. Oh, this is going to happen again. Battery salt up, cogs, trap, Never Toxin. Actually, not even going to bother the Never Toxin. The right clicks are enough. And Always Want to Fly falls once again. And this is even worse now because he's already used his TP to get back to his lane, so he's going to have to just slowly plod his way across the map. So this is going to be a little bit scary for V-Tune for the next, like, 40 seconds or so. There is the potential to get ran down on again, but as long as if he stays by his tier 1 tower, he should be relatively safe. GPK, just a slight lead in the mid. Got 5 more last hits, but I suppose got 4 more denies. So just a very... I mean, actually, they've pretty much got identical XP then. I think it's purely because GPK's always been farming up this camp as well. The big creeps, obviously, the neutrals, giving more experience than standard lane creeps do. Oops, save. Nearly got the jump on to Always Want to Fly once again. He's actually just going to run across the lane to try and cut off V-Tune here. But DM predicts this move perfectly. He's going to just TP back towards the tier 1 tower, and Save wasn't actually there in time to cancel that out. It's a nice little dodge there by V-Tune. Keeps himself going. Five-minute bounty spawn, and it's just going to be 2 for 2. Exactly the same, even trade across the board. Looks like Save tried to go for a little cheeky grab on Always Want to Fly once again behind the tier 1 tower. Couldn't quite get the connection though. So normally in like a Mars Lena lane, you tend to see them go for quite a few kills, as it's relatively set for some potential kill setups with the LSA and the spear. But when you're up against a lifestealer, it's always a lot more difficult to actually try and go for those grabs to him. So you're forced to go for the position 5. But even still, Ilias is just constantly picking up these big creeps, and it's making it a real pain in the ass for Navi to try and lane up against him. This creep alone is enough to zone out General and Roger. But I suppose I should have made a rotation down towards the bot lane with this invis. But I think he walked past that sentry ward, and there was a creep that got the vision onto him. Oh, Epileptic Kid spots him once again. So unfortunately for Iceberg, this is a wasted rotation. Does have his exorcism to use, but just can't quite find it. And that just gave GPK an entire free lane in the mid. Just going to keep up farming the 2 side camps as well. Oh, cheeky little Thunder God's Wrath committed as well. Gets the kill onto V-Tune up top. It looks like Always Want to Fly will die as well. The rocket flying in from Save. Blows up Always Want to Fly. So this off lane for the side of VP is going very, very well. 4 kills all up here. 3 on Always Want to Fly. But there is now that very valuable grab of the Drow Ranger kill. Just both these 2 heroes are super squishy in the early parts of the game. They almost like pinging out Save. Not sure why. Oh, Iceberg, he's rotated up here. I mean, now he's going to get turned on by all three heroes. He's popped his Exorcism and his Soul Scythe. He's trying to stand his ground. He's doing quite a bit of damage. Looks like he might bring Save down, but it's going to cost him his over life. GPK's rotating around himself. DM barely just able to stand toe to toe. He will finally drop for the barrage that comes out for V-Tune, but always want to fly dropped as well. So it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. All the kills going across 4 different heroes there. So it's hard to really tell who mainly benefit from that. The gold and the experience swap is so similar. I mean, yeah, GPK got quite a lot of golden experience, but so did V-Tune. So a little bit even. Maybe that slightly favours VP purely for the fact that the Zeus wants to try and come online a bit earlier as the mid laner rather than the position 1.
Well, what did you expect?
3 heroes on the side of VP, all still committed up here for this tier 1 tower. It looks like General though wants to go for a play, drops the arena, but he misses the spear. Iceberg's come around for the wraparound, but he has no exorcism to actually do much damage in this fight. He's trying to do a lot with the soul assumption. V-Tune's getting involved. Thunder goes to Rapids, committed by GPK and brings General down. DM falls. Iceberg quickly follows, and now V-Tune has to run away. He's all alone. There is a TP coming in from Roger, but it's a little bit late. They're not going to provide much assistance. But GPK's still around it. It looks like he might get the grab onto V-Tune. One Thunderbolt hits. The rocket, give him enough vision for that final little arc lightning. Brings V-Tune down. And now Roger's just going to be free food for GPK. Another kill for him. Ends up being 3. Once you include the kill with General, obviously not close enough to give him the triple kill. But even still, huge plays there by VP. Loads of kills and only losing the Viper. Plus that was the first arena usage as well. I think if that spear landed from General, they could have potentially got a few kills there and then turned that entire situation around. But you know, that's why it's called a skill shot, because sometimes it takes a little bit more skill to land, and sometimes a bit of luck too. But even still, GPK is off to a swimmingly great start. 5-0-3, top of the CS chart as well. Super far ahead on net worth. 1,300 gold over the top of his own position 1 carry, who's in 2nd place. He's going to have this Aghanim's online way, way fast. Got his point booster online. He's got the arcane staff coming out as well. Or staff of wizardry, whatever it's actually called. And the rest of VP just let a free kill onto Roger in the mid lane as well. We're going to start pushing onto this tier 1 tower. It is the Carty wave as well, which is going to speed up this take. Looks like General... He's around here going to try and wants to maybe delay this from happening. There was an exorcism also popped from Iceberg, but I think that was just to take the tier 1 tower down bottom, so that's not going to be much use now. And tier 1 mid falls, another hero, another tower into the pockets of VP. Now 3k gold lead ahead, all 3 of their cores at the top of that net worth chart as well. Just this Clockwork and Viper pairing that came out from VP. It made so much space in the top lane. It really limited the amount of farm that V-Tune was actually able to get, and it's paying off amazingly well for them. Epileptic Kid's quite happy as well. Nearly got his armlet online. I think that's it coming in the courier, right? Yeah, so he's got his armlet online pretty soon once he actually gets it delivered. So that's even going to increase his effectiveness in these coming fights. Going to allow him to get involved with the rest of his team pretty soon. Especially seems how this Ags from GPK is only 1,100 gold away. Super early time on that. I mean, it's not even like he's rushed it either. He's got his arcane boots and he's got 2 null talismans as well, and he's still going to have a super early timing on it. He's just having an absolute mad one of the game so far. It looks like Save's on the hunt for Roger. Does realise he's down there. LSA connects onto his face. Roger, it looks like he's going to try and stand his ground here. I don't know who's going to win this fight, but the creeps, well placed there by Roger. Make sure that he's in between lots of the creeps on his own side, so all this battery assault just gets divvied up amongst him and the catapult. That keeps Roger safe. So lovely little bit of footwork there from him. Unfortunately, that sentry's a bit out of range there to try and get that ward to deny. What? Jesus, what's with it? I've just noticed, what is with this super insane deep ward? There's still all the tier 2s up. It's 12 minutes in. They've got a base ward already. Crazy aggressive. Jump forward for save. He gets the hook shot connection onto Always Want to Fly. Very easy kill. Especially with the damage support that come out from GPK. So how's the Father V-Tune actually doing? He's got his Dragon Lance online, and he is going straight away for that BKB. I think if his lane went a bit better to begin with, he probably would have skipped that as his actual first item, and maybe just tried to complete his Hurricane Pike perhaps, or maybe go for the Manta instead. But GPK is just way too fat at the moment. The magic damage that he's able to chuck out, it's a real threat for V-Tune's life, so he has to get that BKB online as soon as he possibly can. Otherwise, he's not going to have much effectiveness in these coming fights whatsoever. Ags, only 150 gold away now. Obviously, it has slowed down a little bit as he's stopped just annihilating everyone on the side of Na'Vi. He's chilled down a little bit. Letting him survive for now. But that is now going to be his Ags complete. Meanwhile, the rest of VP, they're trying to go for grab with general. He will spear away DM, keeping himself alive for now, but it doesn't matter. Elias is coming in for the slow with these impetuses, and that's enough to finish him off. So another grab there for the side of VP. Just everyone on RV is just falling left, right and centre across the map at the moment. 13-3 in the kills. And they've just gone for an immediate smoke up and going for the hunt. See if they can find anyone else. Even Epileptic Kid's just leading the charge himself. But save, he gets the vision there onto V-Tune. And that is a perfect grab, especially with the Nimbus Cloud coming in from GPK. Nothing that V-Tune could do to survive that. It looks like the rest of Na'Vi though, they found the GPK, they're trying to go onto him, but he's so tanky for the moment. He's standing his ground for now. He will finally fall. It looks like Always Want to Fly might die as well, but the Exorcism actually ends up getting popped by Iceberg. Maybe he potentially wants to try and stand his ground and turn this fight around, get a couple more kills. Save actually ends up falling. DM needs to be careful though, he's getting close to dying himself. The Viper Strike does get connected onto Iceberg, but he's still just trying to get a final kill. He will finally bring him down. He probably just needs to go for a TP out right now. Obviously he's in a real dangerous position. General's already rotated around himself, so that's just going to be enough to make a little bit of space. So it actually ends up being a 3-for-1 trade up at that top lane. I mean, you don't, unless you want to count the death onto V-Tune in the mid. Just suppose you sort of can because you know, the space that the space that was made because GPK was all alone. The rest of his team was hunting down V-Tune. It allowed him to get that initial kill and then the follow-up too. So I think Navi's happy with that. I mean, sure, you lost V-Tune, but you got that big kill onto GPK, slowing him down. I mean, sure, it would have been nice as well if V-Tune was actually there for those kills, so he got a bit of the gold and the experience, but you take what you can get at this point. I think they know they're behind. They just need to find whatever gaps they possibly can in the lineup of VP and try and abuse it. They've gone up for a smoke play themselves now. There's a few members from VP just hanging around in the river. They don't have any vision on them though, so they won't realise they're there. Actually, Always Want to Fly just run straight into saves. He's going to get hook shot directly into the face. The Nimbus Cloud comes out. They only can have one connection. Oh, the Cogs actually brings it back in for a second hit. So Always Want to Fly is going to die. And the rest of Na'Vi, they found a big grab now onto the GPK. It looks like DM's probably going to fall as well. Both of them actually end up dropping exactly at the same time. So two very big pickoffs there from the side of Na'Vi. It's just Epileptic left all alone, completely controlled up. And he gets dropped as well. All three cores on the side of VP end up dying. Iceberg nearly got the All Scepter grab there onto Ilias, but he actually mistimes it, and Ilias will survive. But even still, very, very nice there from Na'Vi. Finally getting a super nice trade. As I said, all 3 cores, and all they lost was always want to fly. I could not really have gone better for them whatsoever. Well, I mean, they could have got the other 2 kills as well, and that way would have gone better. But even still, they are very happy with that trade. And then just from that, it's actually gone down to an even standard point. V-Tune is all the way at the top of the net worth chart now. 400 gold over the top of Epileptic Kid. And it feels like GPK's just instantly dropped off quite a lot. He's had 2 deaths in a row without getting any sort of kills to boot. He's got the Ags, but he's still only got the Lightning Bolt, level 1. And obviously, your Nimbus Cloud uses the level of your Lightning Bolt. So, really, this super early Nimbus is nice, but it's not really that super effective, to be honest. He needs to get a couple more levels online. And he's going to try and do that as fast as he can. Even just poking a prod onto this tier 2 at the top lane now as well. Forces out the first glyph, so might just wait for the second creep wave to come and then carry on pushing forwards. But the rest of Na'Vi are all grouped up in the mid lane at the moment. Maybe thinking about potentially going for a smoke play and seeing if they can find anything. Instead, Virtus could carry on push onto the mid tier 1, but this is definitely a trade that's going to favour VP. Going to take away a tier 2 tower, and this is just before the 20-minute mark as well. So they're going to be able to take the outposts away and get a nice little XP boost on the side of their team. When Na'Vi have now gone for a smoke, they want to try and head over to this outpost, try and take a fight around there, and then get the grab up just before the 20-minute mark, perhaps. Actually, they're going to change up. They're going to head towards the triangle instead. Going to wrap around here. They are going to run straight into save, but he did get spot them. The smoke broke was high ground. He had that ward there to give him a little bit of protection, so he won't fall prey to that. So unfortunately for Na'Vi, the smoke gank fails. They don't get any sort of kill, and they can't get to their outpost before the 20-minute mark either. So, nice little chunk of experience going towards VP there. When that chart updates, we'll probably see it go fly all the way upwards. So everyone's sort of chilling out right now. Everyone's a little bit more comfortable just to hang around and just farm up a little bit. No one's quite eager to go for any sort of initiation plays just yet. For an Epileptic Kid, he's got the AC queued up as his next item, as he's just finished up the Manta, so this is a little bit of a power spike for him, so they could potentially try and make some sort of play happen with this. The V-Junes is working his way towards the Manta as his next item. Got the Yasha shipping out right now. We might just leave it as a casual Yasha for a minute. I mean, it's not like a huge amount of status effects that you really will be purging off. Especially get rid of the poison stacks to come out from DM, as well as the enchant from Ilias as well. Take away the slows. So it could work out quite nicely. It looks like maybe Na'Vi are going to want to go for a smoke up play now. V-Tune's like, I want to finish up this creep camp though. They're like, hurry up then, kill it. Well, they just respawn and he's like, oh, okay, I have to kill these ones now. So unfortunately for them, and then they get scattered out by the Thunder God's Wrath. So this smoke gang gets a little bit wasted. Oh, they immediately smoke up now though. Even though they did get initially spotted and saved, he's got the haste rune, but he's still going to run into everyone. Gets caught by the Septus, that's going to purge away his haste rune, hits by the LSA, and looks like save's going to fall. Epileptic Kid was thinking about maybe coming in there, trying to let something happen, but generally drops down the arena in the background, gets the spear connection onto GPK as well. He's getting pretty low, and he will actually eventually fall. General's getting pretty low himself, but it looks like he will be able to survive this. Ilias is trying to run away with the infested lifesteal as well. But the jump forward from Save, hookshot collects onto 3 of them with the cogs. They're all locked down in place. There's just not much damage. Well, no, don't forget that there is featuring. There's some chopping General guys. Roger dies as well. Always Want to Fly's Iceberg. They're the only ones left alive. It looks like Always Want to Fly's going to fall pretty soon. And then it's just Iceberg left. He needs to run away and get out of here as fast as he possibly can. He's going to try and get a return kill to Ilias. What are you doing, man? You just need to run. He actually gets the kill onto Ilias at least, but I think this might just cost him his life. He's getting slowed up now. The Soul Cypher, that's not going to keep you alive whatsoever. So he falls as well. 5 kills for VP. Incredible hookshot there from Save. Absolutely nuts. I mean, it's in the name. He saved his team right there. Traps 3 heroes in the cogs. They couldn't go anywhere, and all it took was VP just to start laying in the damage. GPK there with the Nimbus Cloud throws that on top as well, dealing loads of damage to everyone. It's a lovely play there by him. Keeps their team in that fight. It was looking pretty dire to begin with. But that just shows you any sort of fight can turn around at any point. All you need is someone to go big and land one of those super crucial spells. Wow, I mean, technically, a hookshot isn't really classed as one of those super crucial spells either. It's just a nice ganking tool, but in that situation, it seemed absolutely incredible. Better than some Ravages I've seen. So maybe that's phased Na'Vi a little bit. They're like, ooh, you know, VP can still crush us. We gotta be a little bit more careful. In the mid, looks like Save going for another grab. Ooh, looks like he's gonna get the kill onto Roger. As soon as he lands, just gets lightning bolted to the face. There's nothing the Leaning could do to survive. Then VP just all rolls straight into the Roshan pit. I think Na'Vi realizes this is going on, but this Rosh is dropping way too quick. No one's going to be able to get over here in time to actually stop this from happening. Even the Thunder God's Wrath there, scouring it all out. Iceberg leading the charge. Maybe thinking about trying to get in there, but it's too late. Rosh is already dead, and now they need to retreat. Hurricane Pike now online for V-Tune, so he's going to be able to make a little bit more space for himself in these coming fights. Hopefully he won't get caught out in a similar situation as that previous one. He's going to be able to get himself out of those cogs and not just purely rely on Always Want to Fly to always be there to save him in those scenarios. But even still, Epileptic Kid himself's getting pretty close to this Assault Cuirass. I think he's only the recipe away. It's about 1,000 gold. So like everyone on the side of Na'Vi, they're on the hunt for something else. It looks like they will actually run into DM, and he's going to be a free kill pick up here. There is a Nimbus Cloud to try and lend a bit of space, but it's not going to be enough. And DM still falls. So it's a fine pick up there for Na'Vi. I'm sure they would have preferred to try and get like a grab onto Epileptic Kid or GPK, but I mean they'll take it. A kill's a kill after all, and it is a core as well, so better than a support kill, that's for sure. But VP, even though they're a hero down, they want to try and find something else. Jump forward from Save, and then Iceberg just gets deleted in a second with the Infest pop out and the magic damage coming out from GPK. Just evaporated in a second. Now it just looks like VP want to try and force down this tier 2 tower. They're actually going to force the glyph out as well, and there's not even any creeps nearby. So now this next wave is going to appear. And they're still going to be able to take down this tier 2 anyway. They could potentially keep pushing on for the tier 3. This double damage still got quite a bit of duration, but GPK and DM have actually already rotated out. Maybe they want to try and get a gank onto Roger, but they won't actually find him. He's going to be able to get out there himself. Basically now online for Epileptic Kid as well. People are just going to die even faster. Yeah, Epileptic Kid is just keeping this ball rolling. He's not bothering going back and trying to farm up for an item or something. He just wants to take down these towers as fast as he can. He doesn't even care about tanking the towers either. He's literally just like, I'm going to lay into this tower and I'm going to bring it down no matter what. So that's the final tier 2 on the side of Na'Vi being stripped away from them. All of their tier 3s now exposed, so if there's ever a moment where Na'Vi just get wiped on a base siege, it'll probably be pretty close to a GG. They'll lose quite a lot of their buildings in that sort of process. They're immediately going up for a smoke play. Infested into save. We'll see if he's able to find any of these hook shots. I mean, he's been super good at it so far. He found so many kills for the side of VP. This rocket actually ends up going the wrong way. Oh, he just spots not Roger. Oh, I didn't think he did actually. Just behind the vision because of the night time. Blind hook shot. Doesn't find any other sort of connection. So fortunate enough for Na'Vi, they do dodge this little gank coming out from VP. But immediately they take away the outpost just before the 30-minute mark yet again. So maybe this time Na'Vi will try and go for another play and head straight towards that outpost. I think they're going to need it. They need to find something. If they let this outpost go, it's just going to put them even further behind. It looks like maybe they're potentially thinking about making a move over here, but there's still so many members of VP. They're not going to let this outpost go for free. I know, Na'Vi, they're not going to try it. It's too late now, 10 seconds left. So it's going to be another big XP boost for the side of VP yet again. We'll see that do another sharp spike upwards. Nimbus Cloud gets committed by GPK. It actually just gives a vision onto V-Tune who's already nearby. The swap out came immediately from Always Want to Fly. It's going to cost him his life, but at least he keeps V-Tune alive. And Save just charging forwards, trying to reduce the damage coming out from V-Tune as much as he possibly can. He still dies for it. And lovely arena there from General. Traps onto 3 of them. The V-Tune's nowhere nearby to actually do enough damage. It's just Iceberg. So no one actually ends up falling from this. Iceberg, he's still committing forwards. He probably needs to fall back. He's all alone, especially with how his BKB's just worn out. And now it's just him dead. There's still no help from the rest of Na'Vi nearby. Final little Thunderbolt brings him down. So 2 for 1 there, favouring VP. They lose Save, sure, but they've taken down they take down Iceberg. At least Always Want to Fly is going to be up pretty soon. It's not quite the lead the VP needs to try and go for high ground, so they will just fall back. They need a few more hero kills before they're actually able to siege that tier 3 a little bit more safely. There is actually double damage at the bot lane as well. We'll just immediately get bowled up by GPK though. So Na'Vi is still playing super careful, and they can't really go for any sort of plays at the moment. Just everywhere is a real dangerous place to be. Pipe online now for General at least, so there is going to be a little bit more survivability for the side of Na'Vi. Definitely going to mitigate a large portion of damage coming out from GPK. And it looks like even in a infest attempt coming out now from Save and Epileptic Kid. General maybe wants to go for TP. Nice blink dagger off the side. Oh, but it immediately gets cancelled though by the Nimbus Cloud. Perfect read there by GPK. And this is just going to cost General his life. He dodges the hook. He's trying to make him waste as much time as he possibly can. But he is definitely going to die. Pops his BKB. Where is he going? Where is he going? He's charging. He wants to get killed by the fountain. He's just hanging around in the map. He's going to pop his bulwark. He's in the pit. He's going to die. And he dies. Oh, dear. Well, the space created. I mean, he'll definitely be saying that to his team. I mean, rather than dying here, he drags everyone all the way back, all the way to their own fountain. So that's decent space for sure. But that was a perfect read there by GPK. Like, General even waited for the vision from the Thunder God's Wrath to wear off before he went for the Blink Dagger. I mean, he could have blinked to the right, but GPK just predicted correctly. And he managed to nab a free kill because of it. And the smoke up play coming up from VP yet again. Infested into save. We'll see if they're able to find another pickup this time, but Na'Vi are just perfectly waiting up on their own high ground. They realise without General they are way too weak in any of these coming team fights. So they have to play a little bit more cautiously. I mean, it's despite the fact that it feels like VP are just so in control of this game, it's still only a 6k gold lead. It feels like it should be about, I don't know, 10 to 15,000 in all honesty. It just feels like there's that much momentum on the side of VP right now. Just Na'Vi are playing so scaredly. Scaredly? I'm just scared. I don't know what scaredly means. The Na'Vi have gone for a smoke up play now, finally pushing out of their own base. They're going to see if they can find anyone. Looks like they'll actually run into save. He will set initiation from Iceberg. There's a Nimbus Cloud right on top of all of them. They're going to have to try and focus this down. It was causing a lot of mayhem in the back lines. Save actually manages to get out there alive. Maybe potentially trying to set up some sort of counterplay. But there's a lot of damage coming out from GPK with these Thunder God Wraths and the Lightning Bolt spams. But maybe Airplane's Kid and Save might try and go for some sort of infest counterplay. They're going to see who they can find. Everyone on the side of Na'Vi's put themselves in a dodgy position. The hook shot just barely misses there from Save. That definitely would have been a free kill. Roshan's even respawned now. And I think both teams realise this. There is the courier from Epileptic Kid. Ooh. Always one fly, gets caught out by an easy rod of Atos. Runs straight into Nimbus Cloud and he gets brought down. And then saving Epileptic Kid, they actually find another grab towards the back. They're trying to keep Iceberg locked down. But the arena finally comes out. It's going to bring down Save. And he gets brought down. Now it's this DM being focused up and he drops as well. There's too much physical damage coming off this Drow. Epileptic Kid even gets dropped. What's happening? The whole side of VPs is completely collapsing now. Even GPK gets caught out. The physical damage from these arrows is just way too much. Just everybody melts. So many buybacks as well from the side of VP. They all wanted to get there to try and stop this Roche from happening and maybe turn the team fight around. They just could not get there in time. Another buyback as well from GPK. This is such a high committal from them side. If this still goes skew whiff and they end up dying again, this is absolute disaster. I mean, Na'Vi, they've done the work they need to do. They got loads of kills. They forced loads of buybacks. They can just chill out a little bit. They don't have to go too crazy. Never mind that. Iceberg is just going to commit the exorcism right in the pit. They immediately get scouted out by the rocket and the Nimbus Clouds, doing quite a bit of damage, as well as the Nevertox to DM. Scoot, jump forward from Save, gets a connection onto Iceberg, and he drops. The General's now caught in the front. He falls as well. So why? V-Tune maybe potentially going to get caught. Another rocket forward from Save. No hook shot though. Jump forward from GPK actually connects with the Yule Scepter. So looks like V-Tune still taking quite a bit of damage. Rod of Atos connection as well. And he's going to end up falling. So now it's just going to be a VP going to the pit. Why did they go in? Why? Like, all you had to do was just chill. All you had to do was chill. You had got the big advantage. You got loads of kills. You forced buybacks. You did not need to pressure anymore. You got what you needed to do. You could have just waited back, reset for the next sort of engagement, waited for your arena to be back online, and do the same sort of thing. But they just got a little bit too ahead of themselves. Just Iceberg running straight on in there and forcing the exorcism. And now he's put the rest of his squad into a real dire situation. GPK, he just finds a global kill onto Always Want to Fly as well, set up from Save. It just goes from bad to worse there for the side in RV. And those are the sort of misplays that cost you games. It really is. Epileptic Kids are sat on the high ground, whacking away. There's no Fishun, always been fight for 20 seconds. Even the Glyph and the repair kit as well, delaying this push for as long as he possibly can. Vichu is going to be up soon, so General might just jump forward to try and delay this. You'll Scepter from Iceberg as well. But even still, tier 3 will fall. And then VP just going to fall out. Fall out, fall back. They're not bloody Autobots. Even that's a rollout. Or are they Autobots? Dun dun dun! They have got a robot man. Coincidence? I think not. Timeless relic in the hands of GPK. So much extra damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is it 50%, debuff duration 25%? So that means his stuns last. Should we get the lightning bolt mini stun bonus? It doesn't really say how long that mini stun lasts from the lightning bolt. So whatever 25% bonus of a mini stun counts is how long that stun lasts for extra. The VP is going to keep this aggression going. They've still got the Aegis online. They've still got Cheese as well in the hands of DM. So they can potentially just carry on setting up for kills. Just Na'Vi are full on turtling in their base. They've gone for a smoke for a infest play. Jump forward from save. It doesn't connect onto the Iceberg. He's taking so much damage. He just manages to get his BKB off in time. The swap back for always want to fly. Cost him his life, but he keeps Iceberg safe at least. And Iceberg's going to try and fall back to the pit. And he will manage to. So VP, they find a kill, but it's not exactly the high priority one they were after. But they'll take it. It's still a man advantage. And now there's not going to be that swap back save coming out from always want to fly to keep V-Tune safe. Jump forward from save once again, gets the connection onto V-Tune, pushes him back towards the rest of his team. Looks like he might die for this. Weird little force staff there, pushes him out of L section. But even still, now Epileptic again focused down by V-Tune, taking quite a bit of physical damage. We will be able to pop his rage and fall back. So no one dies on either side then, both kept perfectly safe. It looks like they're not done yet. They're going to go for another one. They're going to wait for this hookshot to be online. Maybe Na'Vi won't be expecting this. Just non-stop aggression coming out now from the side of VP. We'll see if they're able to find maybe a squishier target. He's waiting. Jump forward. He gets the connection once again onto V2, but there is a swap back. Keeps him safe. This time, always want to find doesn't even die. And now VP, they just need to fall back. It looks like Save's actually going to get caught out here. He drops his cogs to try and make a little bit of an obstacle to let the rest of his team fall back. He does still die. And Iceberg's on the hunt now, charging forwards. He's not going to be able to get anything else though. But there's the exorcism forced out. Even still, it's quite difficult for VP to try and actually siege these high grounds. There's so much range damage coming out from the side of Na'Vi that they need to get some sort of hook pick off, but every single time they go for it, always want to fly to there every single time to go for the swap back. Now VP, they've actually just completely fallen back all the way to their own side of the map. Aegis even reclaimed now, so VP have lost that big advantage that they did have. MKB also queued up for Epileptic as his next item, but there's no butterfly coming out for V-Tune just yet. It's pretty much an inevitable item that he will get, but maybe once he sees this MKB, coming out from Epileptic Kid. Maybe he won't bother. He might just finish his Chrysalis into a Daedalus, perhaps. You know, if you're going to stack the camp feature, you need to turn off your Frost Arrows. Actually, I don't think it was even the Frost Arrows. It's just the Eye of Skadi slow that stopped the creep from actually being able to get out of there in time. So Spell Prism in the hands of Iceberg now, though. So those Exorcisms are going to come online just a little bit sooner. Be able to spam out a lot of his spells now in these coming team fights. Thunder God's Wrath committed by VP. Gets the vigil on everyone with Na'Vi. So they realise they're over this side. The jump forward for save. Gets the connection always want to fly. No more swap saves are going to be coming out. They tried to go for the grab there onto Iceberg, but he was able to get out. Roger just gets focused instead. He melts pretty damn quickly. General goes for the TP out. Ooh, that Nimbus just barely misses. Well, not that it misses, but it was just slightly too late. And they will keep General alive. But VP going to go straight back to siege onto this high ground. Buyback forced up by Roger. And that alone is actually going to be enough to force Epileptic Kid back. He doesn't want any part of that. So maybe VP's next objective is just to wait for the Roshan respawn. And then go for the Aegis Cheese and whatever the other item will be. Whether that's Refresher Shard or Aghanims. Look at this greedy man. He's holding on to 3 neutral items. Let somebody else have some stuff, bro. So Daedalus now online for V-Tune. He is now 6 slotted. So probably just going to work towards a Moon Shard. Or maybe go straight for that Aghanims Bless him, perhaps. They might wait for the Ags after the Roshan. Well, super quick respawn in the Roshan, actually. He's already going to be up. We'll see which team's actually able to scout this out first. Once again, another Infest Blade coming out from save, perhaps. Oh, but never mind. GPK scouts out the fact that Roshan's already up. And they roll straight on into this Roshan pit. I don't think the side of Na'Vi realise this is going on. No way to scout this out. And it's actually a Refresher Shard, so who would be the hero to really benefit from this? It would just be GPK. He'd have triple Nimbus, triple Thunder God's Wrath. I don't think he has the mana pool to sustain that, unless he takes the cheese as well. I'm actually going to put the cheese into the hands of DM. Does the Refresher Shard also refresh? I can't remember. Does it refresh Refresher Roar? I don't think so. That would be broken, right? I mean, I don't think there's a hero in this game that can support that sort of mana consumption. The VP immediately start going straight onto this tier 3 at the top lane. LSA Connection, loads of physical damage coming up for V-Tune, and they're actually able to bring down the first life of Epileptic Kid with 0 committal whatsoever. They're going to try and counter focus him up. He's already used his rage. Looking at the arena comes out from General, trying to lock down 3 heroes. Meanwhile, Save did jump in the background, trying to make a bit of space, but it's not enough. Ilias ends up falling, and it looks like so will Save. He's trying to run away, but there's no way he can escape this. So 2 heroes fall for VP, as well as the Aegis being taken away immediately from the hands of Epileptic Kid. Just disaster for the side of VP there. Even the Refresher Shard was used by GPK. All of that committal, all of that time, just waiting for the next Roshan, and it means absolutely nothing. Just Na'Vi annihilated Epileptic Kid in that first initial stun. Just the right clicks coming out from V-Tune are way too much. He's hitting for 450 damage, and then the chance of 90 bonus damage as well, proc from the ultimate hit as well. As well as the Daedalus crits on top. Monstrous amount. Real monstrous amount of damage that comes out from this hero right now. Has anyone even got a... No one's even got a Solar Crest for him. Someone needs to build a Solar Crest. That's normally the Venge's job, right? The Venge would always build a Solar Crest. Just to constantly chuck it on V-Tune. And then this guy turns into the biggest sentry gun in the world. That's got to be his next item. He's got 2,200 gold sat in his bank doing absolutely nothing. Someone's got to build it. It's such a crucial item. AC queued up though for general. So that at least will be a little bit of extra physical armor mitigation coming out from the side of VP, onto VP. So it will make everyone die a little bit quicker as well for the right clicks of V-Tune. Thunder God's Wrath scouts out the locations of Na'Vi. And that's just enough to send them scurrying back to their base. But despite the fact that Na'Vi took that fight very successfully, they're still just a little bit too scared to try and make any sort of moves outside the base themselves. They are all sort of grouped up just on the other side of the lane at the moment from VP. So we could potentially see a clash in a second. But both teams aren't really too eager to try and make any sort of moves happen just yet. It's 1,600 damage crits coming out from V-Tune. Was it? Oh no, 1,000. I thought it was 1,600 then. I was like, oof, that's disgusting. So both teams are just so scared at the moment. I mean, it's very understandable for VP. They attempted that high ground siege and got completely countered. The Na'Vi is still just a little bit scared. V-Tune, you gotta be a little bit careful about your position. Even always want to fly, you one save, he ends up getting caught out. V-Tune just has to completely bail. The Exorcism actually gets committed by Icebergs. He makes it so he wants his team to turn around here. There's two Nimbus clouds made this little funnel area, trying to get it in there as much as they possibly can. DM, he's trying to go for a TP out with his BKB on. He's just barely able to make that off. The jump fall for Roger gets the Eul's connection onto Ilias. So it's looking like at least the Enchantress is going to fall for the side of VP. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade, but there was a buyback on Always Want to Fly at least. But obviously there is that big cooldown of the Exorcism used up by Iceberg. He's going for the Octarine Core as his next item. I mean, you've already got a Spell Prism, right? Do you need the Octarine Core just yet? I would have thought he would have gone for a Refresher Orb, to be honest with you. Just to try and get his ultimate back online a little bit sooner, so if there are these multiple engagements coming out, he can just have that second BKB and second Exorcism online just a bit sooner. But he decides against it. Save, infested up, maybe waiting around. The Rocket jumps forward, but General, he actually jumps forward himself, gets a spear onto save, but immediately Epileptic Kid comes flying out, tries to turn this fight around. Always Want to Fly, swaps General back, but I don't think he really needs to. He could have probably kept the aggression away, but an aggressive swap there for Always Want to Fly brings Epileptic Kid back into the rest of Na'Vi. He's still able just to run away. This Always Want to Fly might eventually drop from the dot damage. The hook shot comes out from the clockwork, but ends up missing. DM trying to stand his ground against V-Tune, but even still V-Tune able to just get away. He's still super close, he can't quite do enough damage, but finally DM will fall, make a little bit of space. General drops in the background. It is managed to finish up. Everyone's just trying to stand the ground. Epileptic keeps getting so low. V-Tune is actually Iceberg getting caught up by everyone. The LSA making a little bit of space for him, but it's not going to be enough. And he still ends up dropping. Tries to go for a TP out as well on Roger. It's immediately cancelled by the lightning bolt. And it's only V-Tune to actually survive for the side of VP there. So many buybacks. Well, there's two buybacks on the side of VP. It's DM and Save, both getting back into that fight as soon as they could. And it ends up turning that fight entirely around. Probably have to see a buyback of Roger as well. Maybe the three of them could potentially form some sort of hold here. Just the long range damage coming out from V-Tune should be enough. But even still, there's no save for Always Want to Fly. So if V-Tune gets caught by this infested hookshot, he's dead. I mean, that's just it. He is 100% dead. There will be no way for him to save. Even a smoke coming out. I want to see if they can sneak up round the back and try and grab someone off here. He's playing a very patient game so far, Save. The illusion just blocking his line of sight for the moment. He can't get any grab. The jump forward, he actually gets the connection onto V-Tune. No way he can survive that. He's gone for 100 seconds. He does have a buyback, he's going to be forced to use it. The rest of Na'Vi is going to be able to respawn pretty soon. And even a very aggressive TP there forward from V-Tune as well. And that's just going to be enough to force everyone on the side of VP to fall back once again. Just so back and forth between these two teams. I'll be sure VP took a very successful fight, but they just don't really feel confident just yet to carry on pushing forwards. They're going to wait for the next Roshan, potentially up in 12 seconds. Na'Vi did scan, it did connect onto Save when he was in the pit, but he did leave it, so they're going to think that Roshan isn't up, and it isn't. Well, not for another 2 minutes 25, so a very long respawn timer. So there's a little bit to work with there from Na'Vi. Not going to be pressured to try and make some sort of move outside the base. Not that they would even know themselves. Even a double damage, just sat outside the pit. Epileptic Kid just bottling it up. Ready and waiting. They're all just hanging around. They just want the Roche. That's all they actually care for. Thunder God's Wrath scouts out everyone on Na'Vi, still hiding in their base. And actually a pause comes out for V-Tune as well. Just, it's insane. Just, if it's so back and forth. It's 55 minutes in. And somehow Na'Vi have not lost a single one of their barracks yet. Despite the fact that VP took away their last tier 2 at like 30 minutes in. So it's been 25 minutes of attempted sieges coming out from VP. And they just can't find the opening. Every single time they come up here, Na'Vi just somehow managed to make a miraculous hold and push them away. And keep themselves in this game. So V-Tune, he's got that Moon Shard online. He's still 6 slotted, so he's probably going to be working towards that Aghanim's blessing. There's still no Solar Crest. Guys, someone build a Solar Crest. Come on. I think maybe Rogers to build it. Seems how Always Wanna Fly is pretty much always there just to swap V-Tune out to keep him alive. So maybe he's actually not going to get too many uses of it. But Rogers generally in a safe sort of position, so he should be okay. Massive amount of items is brought out there from both teams. Good lord. So Octarine Core finished up there for Iceberg. DM finished up his Shiva's Guard. What else was it? Ilias finished up a Lotus Orb as well. And I can't remember who finished up the other item. But there was another item on there. But everyone's the 6 slot at the moment. Even Epileptic Kids. It's got 6,700 gold as well. Definitely going to be going for that Moon Shard. They're making a move out towards the mid lane with a smoke up, but Na'Vi's already done a smoke up for themselves, wrapping up from the top lane, going into the Radiant Triangle. So if they could just hold this area and wait for the Roshan to spawn, they're going to have an amazing position and potentially go for a super nice counterplay. All they need to do is just be really patient and wait. For VP though, their creep waves pushing in towards this mid lane. They're going to see that no one's going to come out to defend it. And the Thunder God's Wrath scouts it out. They see exactly where everyone is. Take the barracks. What are you doing? You scouted out. They're all on the other side of the map. Go hit the barracks. Well, you're too late now. They're coming. VP, come on. Even my pubs would know to do that. So Na'Vi's actually able to get back here in time to defend their melee barracks. Not the fact that VP have even decided to siege it, so leaving it as the creeps. It looks like the melee barracks might just die. No, they'll be able to keep it alive. The Kai is not going to be enough to finish it off. But even still, the side of Na'Vi in a little bit of disarray at the moment. Their position's not greatest, but even still, VP, they just don't find the opening. This is such a peculiar game. Navi. Again scouted out by the Nimbus Cloud as well. Jump forward from Iceberg. Gets the Receptor connection onto a save. Not going to be enough to actually get any sort of kill there. But DM, he's getting caught out by everyone else on the side of Navi. Just getting invis by the Glimmer Cape, so he might be able to survive. Even the Arena trying to collect them both locked in. Vichu's doing quite a bit of damage. Looks like both of these will fall. Meanwhile in the back, Epileptic Kid and GPK managed to find the kills on to always want to fly an Iceberg. So they found a nice couple of kills themselves. What's going on my camera? Now it's this Epileptic Kid getting focused up by everyone. Vichu just standing there, standing his ground, doing so much damage. Epileptic Kid just barely able to survive with the Glimmer Cape. He actually manages to escape with his life somehow. GPK gets hit by the LSA, locked in place, taking quite a bit of damage from Vitune, and he will fall as well. So it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. Somehow Epileptic Kid survived. But, I mean, the creeps have actually taken the tier 3 down the bottom, just this natural push coming through. And at least there was a natural push coming out from Na'Vi as well at the top lane, so they take a tier 1, but definitely favouring VP still. Jump forward from General. He spots out save. Immediately forces a buyback from GPK as well. The charging force. Maybe they want to get a potential grab here onto General. Hookshot from save as well. With the infested up from Epileptic Kid. And General falls in a second. He's gone for 90 seconds. Does have a buyback available, but even still, there's no Iceberg for 60 seconds. He actually will immediately use his buyback and start heading back towards this lane. Picked up a gem as well, realising that these Invis Glimmer Capes are doing way too much work on the side of VP. Even still, they're just a little bit too scared to go for it just yet. Maybe not thinking where the position from Na'Vi is. Now they will just start laning into it. Aegis, Cheese, Refresh Shard, and Ags. So we'll see who they give the Ags to. Is it just going to be probably Save, right? No, Save's already got his own. Who? Ilias? They're going to give him the Sproink? It doesn't really work for VP, for Epileptic Kid, because there's no one else to really bother bringing in. Okay, so they are going to give it over to Epileptic. Oh wait, they changed it, didn't they, actually? I can't remember. What's the actual buff? Infest cooldown, increases cast range, and applies rage buff to Infest. Okay, so basically it will make Save magic immune, and is it increase the cast range of the person you're infested in, or increase the cast range of the infest? I guess it must just increase the cast range of the infest. It would be pretty broken if it increases the other one. So okay, there is a little bit of bonus there for Save's initiation, but even still, it's not like it really matters. Because once his hookshot lands anyway, Epileptic Kid's just going to pop out and start dealing as much physical damage as he possibly can. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. Oh, bless me again. Very sneezy today. So it's like maybe VP might potentially set up for their 20th high ground siege, maybe? Not quite ready to go for it yet. Thundergod's Wrath just scouting out again. They do spot the fact that Roger's off all on his own. Out comes the Nimbus Cloud trying to spot him out, but it doesn't actually connect onto anything. It always hits the creep. Hook shot! How did that miss? That looked like it was directly on top of him. I don't know how that missed. That was weird. A little bit there, unfortunate there for Save. Could have netted a free kill. Even the Refresher Shard was... yeah, the Refresher Shard was committed by GPK as well to get the double Nimbus. Trying to lock him down, but they just couldn't quite find it. He's got the Seer Stone as well. Increased cast range. Big mana regen. Increased cast range as well as daytime and nighttime vision. Very nice for him. Actually give the Fallen Sky over to VP. Save, sorry. Pirate Hat. Up online for Epileptic Kid. Infinite bounties coming out. That's 150 attack speed as well. Now an Ex Machina. Who are they going to give that over to? They hand it over to DM. So, double BKB, double Shivas, double Solar Crest. Look at this attack speed. Good lord. Whoever Epileptic Kid gets on top of is going to melt in seconds. Look at these infinite bounty runes. I mean, he's kitted. There is nothing else this man can buy. He's got the Axe Blessing. He's got the Moon Shard. He's got 6 items. He's got a Daedalus queued up. But what would he swap out? Maybe the Manta? I don't know. I don't know what items you get out. Maybe he could swap the maybe he could swap out the no, even so I would say swap out the MKB, but MKB is still pretty good damage source of item, purely because you don't need the True Strike to try and go on to V-Tune, because he's not bothered going for a butterfly this game. But I mean, Na'Vi are completely locked in their base, so they can't get access to any of these tier 5s at the moment. They got 2 of them. They got the Ballista. Ooh, that's a perfect item actually for Drow. I can't believe I didn't see that. Absolutely incredible item for him. The Desolator is well online for the Mars as well. That massive bit of minus armor that's going to be coming out with the God's Rebuke applies onto everyone. So even he's going to be doing a lot of damage in these coming fights. I think it might potentially even be better than the items the VP got. Pyro Hat's nice. System is a nice cast range. I think he might have preferred the damage though from the Timeless Relic perhaps. Does he really need the cast range all that much? I mean, it does give him a nice bit of mana regen, but I mean he's already going to have 60 without it. So that's not exactly a key part of it. They actually swapped the Fallen Sky over. They give it over to DM. So Fallen Skies is basically a Blink Dagger with a Meteor Hammer all in one, right? So is VP just waiting for the next Roche? Up in 2 minutes 15, potentially. I mean, there's no point Epileptic Kid hitting creeps. You don't need any more money. Just let everyone else farm up. There are some people who aren't 6-slide, you know. I'm sure poor little Ilias would like a few more items. I think he just wants his level 30. Gets all those talents online. So which ones is he actually missing? Plus increased lifesteal from the feast. Wounds cooldown, 20 movement speed, 200 health. Not exactly like they're the most amazing talents that he's really missing out on. Stop taking the money, Epileptic Kid. Let Ilias have it. Help your supports. He's doing quite a bit of damage there onto Epileptic Kid just by himself. Just that quick volley brought him down very low. Oh, Ex Machina used. But what does it really do? It refreshes your items. You have a 4-staff and a Ghost Scepter. It does nothing on this hero. You should really get something else. Unless you just want it for the 20 armor, perhaps. Could potentially be it. Unreal's Wrath, it scouts out. They see V-Tune right at the front line. They don't want to go for it though, because Always Wanna Fly is always going to be there to swap him back out, keep him safe. Just both teams are so nervous right now. Roche up, potentially 28 seconds. Has anyone got the Solar Crest out inside of Na'Vi? Nope. Should really build that, boys. Oh, hook shot forward from save, gets a connection onto General, but with the cogs, it actually pushes him away to safety. So again, no one falls. Just everyone firing arrows and bolts and God knows what else into this fray. And no one dies. There's actually 32k gold lead in favour of VP right now. What's it on for XP? Nearly 45,000 XP as well. So, on paper, VP should just be able to close out this game. But, obviously, it's 67 minutes in, so... You know, obviously, the longer the game goes on, the less this gold lead actually means. Oh, General nearly getting caught out there by the Nimbus Cloud, but won't quite get caught out that way just yet. So have they got their last two tier 5s yet on the side of Na'Vi? So they got the pirate hat. They put that into the hands of Roger. You need to use it, bro. You need those bounties. You need the bounties! The gold, man. Think of the gold. You can tell he's not really played... well, most people don't really get games that go on for this long until you get those tier 5s. And you don't normally have a pirate hat in the hands of a position 4 either. So maybe he's just not used to it. There we go. It's quite a large chunk of gold, 170 gold each. Here's a big whack-a-dosh. Under goes Raph. Scouts out there. Gonna get the connection to General. Jump off the DM with the Meteor Hammer, but... Well, the Fallen Sky, I should say. But still, everyone's just poking and prodding. Roshan's up in 16 seconds. Both teams have got couriers waiting in the field. Roger's courier actually ends up leaving. Goes probably going to just pick up an item, but unfortunately for him, that means he's going to miss out on the fact that this Roshan is actually spawning. And now VP is going to get a free Rosh. Oh. I mean, that's just going to let Na'Vi know, though. The courier dies, so now they're going to immediately start heading over here. Na'Vi are wrapping around the side. No one's actually in the pit just yet. It's going to be left open. If they hurry, they might actually be able to get this kill pretty quickly if they want to. They are now going to go for it. Bilius is already up onto the high ground. BB, DM coming in with the double damage rune on top as well. Iceberg with the connection with the Exorcism. A jump forward for Say, gets a nice cogs onto two people. Both the supports on the side of Na'Vi drop really quickly. V2's get focused up by everyone. There's no saves. No always want to fly. Can try and pull him back out of this. He stands his ground, try and do as much damage as he possibly can, but it's not going to be enough. He ends up falling. Iceberg barely able to escape. Just slightly with his life, but the rocket connection from Say brings him down. It's just Roger left. He's going to fall back. He will be able to survive. There was actually a buyback for Always Want to Fly as well, so he can't die here. Otherwise, it's going to be absolute disaster for the side of Na'Vi if they lose their main save for the Drow. Even V-Tune's going to buy back now as well. There is a buyback available for Iceberg as well. If they want to try and take the fight by the Roshan, they still possibly can, but there's no exorcism online for this Death Prophet either. The Book of the Dead. Summon 2 sets of level 3 Necronomicon units the last 75 seconds. Units have 50% more health and damage. Wow. Pretty legit item to have, but even still, VP, they're going to have the 4th Roshan, or 5th Roshan. I think that's the 5th, right? The Divine Rapier in the hands of General. What? Man, those God Rebukes are going to hurt like hell. Especially with the Stygian Desolator. Minus 10 armor on the God's Rebuke. Plus doing, what's that, 600 damage. With the 335% critical hit. So those God's Rebukes are going to be hitting for like 1800 damage. That's pretty painful. We'll probably see him try to go for that Aghanim's Blessing as his next item and just try and spam out those God's Rebukes as much as he possibly can. It is. Why are you at the front line? You take way too much damage to be up there. Oh, jump forward from Save. He gets hookshot. Epileptic, and he bailed out too soon. Doesn't matter. It looks like he still will get the kill. Another hookshot forward from Save. He actually gets the kill on the V2. I think that's it. They've lost their position 1. They're not going to have much damage. Iceberg's trying to get in here with a little bit of help with the Exorcism. It's not going to be enough. General ends up falling. The Divine Rapier dropped on the deck. And I think that's just it. Even the random bounty rune. Why is there a bounty rune there? Well, buyback from General. They want to try and make something happen here, but I don't think they have anything left in the tank. I think it's just going to be it. Oh, nice spear there from General. Pushes Save all the way back into the pit. But this is time wasted. The rest of VP are just melting the towers. Ooh, jump onto Iceberg. They're trying to bring him down. He's so fast though, even when he takes up. Now General just getting focused onto. He can't survive that, even with the God's Rebuke. Jump forward from Save with perfect hook shot. Pushes Iceberg, waiting into everyone at VP. And that's just a wipe. And they call it. Na'Vi finally tap out of this game. 72 minutes in. Woo! Long-winded one that was. Very back and forth game. Just neither team could really get much of an advantage until there was that final jump at the end with the double hook shot coming out from Save. Gets the initial grab onto his one fly, then jumps immediately onto V-Tune, picks him off as well. And where V-Tune had already done his buyback, there was nothing left that Na'Vi could really do to try and stop their base from just getting absolutely melted. So well played there to VP. They were just in the lead for pretty much that entire game. I think there was one point where Na'Vi won a fight and then brought it to an even standing. But even still, just VP had like a constant 30k, 40k gold lead. But they just couldn't really do much. It's too much high ground protection from Na'Vi. But eventually, they persist and they get the opening and they finally take the victory. So well-deserved victory there. Going to take us on to the next game. We'll see if Na'Vi is going to be able to push it to a game 3, perhaps. I mean, I think all these players are going to be exhausted after that one. Just, they all want to have a little bit of a mental reset. Go get a drink. You know, get a coffee or something. Just try and chill out. Be zen. Don't let that sort of game just give you the mental fatigue for the next one. Come into it nice and fresh. And hopefully both these teams do and put up for a lovely game too. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching that video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it and the content I was able to provide. I am just starting out, so if you did like it and you want to support me in the future, then please think about following and subscribing to me on Twitch, Twitter and YouTube. I post on Twitter what events I plan on covering in the future and when I'm actually able to do some casts. I don't have the most free time in the world, unfortunately, so I can't provide constant content, but I can guarantee you every single time that I do cast, I'm giving it my all because I have a lot of passion for it and hopefully that does come off. So once again, hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you stick around for the next video. So hopefully I see you guys there. Cheers.